Welcome back to my next Lucifer Season 6 episode review video. Before I get into that, though, pretty important if you weren't caught up to the point where I am in rewatching or watching Lucifer, or you're just not entirely sure, then you definitely need to take the initiative and pay attention to the episode's title, which of course I'll mention as well as put in the description. If that happens to be the case, you found out that you're not caught up, it would be my recommendation that you don't watch this video any further to avoid any potential spoilers. And as many of you already know by now, or you should know, this is indeed my first time watching the show Lucifer. So join me on the journey and let's discuss the show in the comment section along with the legendary Crazy Coffee Man, who is the foremost Lucifer expert that I know. With all that said, this will be Lucifer Season 6, Episode 9. The title of this episode is called Goodbye, Lucifer. And this will be my review, reaction, recap after just finishing watching the episode. So we start off with a man praying. I think this man is on death row, but I'm not 100% sure. And the guard says it's time. His parent showed up. He asks about his cat, Mr. Miyagi. Or I think he said Mr. Miyagi, and then he says, my cat. And then there's a lion in the cell block, and that's his cat, Mr. Miyagi. So his prayers have been answered. Come to Papa! And then we see Jophiel as well. Amenadiel tells Lucifer, our siblings are answering prayers and they're making a mess of it. And that's what's causing the end of the world. That's an interesting way to cause the end of the world. How do prayers explain Ella's frog? A young girl prayed for one, but let's make a deal didn't realize that humans get them at pet stores. Missing socks caused by sibling screw-ups. They don't take orders from Amenadiel, though. We need you on that throne, Amenadiel says to Lucifer. And then Lucifer tells Amenadiel he realizes being God is just not his calling. Lucifer says this decision deep down is the right one. Amenadiel says you need to fix this immediately. Ghost Dan goes to visit Vincent Lemac, the man, of course, who killed him, and Dan wonders why he's still here. The lion causes chaos. This is in the cell block. And then the guard who is, in Lemac's cell, he actually leaves the cell door open and Lemac is able to escape. And Dan's like, no, how could you do this? So Lucifer wakes up in the morning next to Chloe, showing off those great buns of his. Lucifer has a to-do list. By using the blender to make a drink, he wakes up Chloe. Oh, good morning! I missed the detective parts, by the way. And Chloe wonders why Lucifer is so happy. Chloe says today's the day, August 4th, the day that Rory says that you disappear. Why did Rory tell you this was my last day if there's nothing we can do about it? Lucifer says to Chloe. It's such a buzzkill. Stay away from 10th and Swanston, as that's where you disappear at. Chloe's going to the precinct to sign the reinstatement forms. Lucifer's making a panic room, and once it's done, he's going in there for the rest of the day. Rory said that he can't change it, and Lucifer decides to let him his men finish, and him and Rory go out and have like a father-daughter day. They need some much-needed fun. So Lucifer, so they do like sumo wrestling and a bunch of other random stuff. And then Lucifer says, get ready for the best TV show you've ever seen. Bones. I've never seen Bones, so I can't comment on that. And then Rory says that the spinoff from her time kicks yours as ass. Impossible, but he listens to Rory's explanation. Chloe arrives back. She tells Lucifer she's pregnant. So now, in present time, she's pregnant with Rory. And then, of course, Rory from the future is time traveling. Rory says, I used to think Lucifer chose to leave us, too. But now maybe it's not up to him. Whatever it is, it must be something. Lucifer finishes her sentence, too powerful for him to stop. Chloe asks Lucifer, why are you entertaining any of this? Free will? You remember? Time travel complicates everything. He doesn't know what to believe. Chloe responds with, how can you choose to stay if you don't believe that you have a choice? And then fate automatically wins. Let me know when you choose us. Rory says fate's a bitch. And then Rory says Charlie is so tiny. As Lucifer is visiting Linda while she's packing the clothes she's putting away, that Charlie's outgrown. Actually, it's clothes that they're giving to Chloe for Rory. Linda tells Lucifer she knows how much it hurts leaving a child. And then Chloe says, I can change my fate. And Rory says, I cannot. I think I meant to put, can I change my fate? I don't know. Lucifer says there's some things that he has to do. He tells Linda she's one of the most wonderful friends a devil could ever have. Amenadiel asks Chloe for a favor. He wants Chloe to convince him to become God. Chloe asks Amenadiel about becoming God. He tells her he made the choice to stay here and raise his child. Amenadiel's going to rethink that. Lucifer goes to see Ella. Ella says at least she's in the loop now. And Ella says she recently learned something, that you don't have to know everything to have trust, not when you know each other's hearts. Lucifer says he's truly sorry and he wanted to know that, am I dying? No, well, eventually. Are you dying? There's a small chance I may leave you today without warning. And Lucifer wants Ella to accept a heartfelt gift, and she'll try. It's a pencil. Wow, a pencil! Yay! It says Miss Lopez, STEM initiative on it. She doesn't understand. And what Lucifer did is he opened up a foundation in her name as she's an inspiration. If there were more women like Ella, the world would be a better place. And then Ella and Lucifer hug. Dan is following Vincent Lemec. He's getting hair dye at a convenience store type place. And then Dan tries to get the attention of the person behind the counter as you see Lemec on the news. And then Josh, the person behind the counter, does eventually look at the TV and notice that Lemec, and then he sees the guy that's in the store that looks like Lemec. And then he pulls a gun out on Lemec when he walks up to the counter. But Lemec grabs the gun and tells him to empty the register. Somehow, someway, Dan is actually able to stop that from happening. He actually jumps in Lemec's body. So now Lemec is Dan. Not sure exactly how he did that or what caused that to happen, but he is Lemec. Dan inside Lemec. And then, what the heck, bro? I just saved your life, as Josh is still pointing the gun at, Lemec/Dan. And Josh tells him to get out of here. And then Dan/Lemec leaves. Amenadiel goes to see Lucifer as he thinks he's figured out a way to fix things with our brothers and sisters. What if God didn't work alone? Amenadiel says. Hear me out, Lucy. With the guidance, think of the work they could do. Amenadiel thinks every angel should spend time on Earth. Because remember, Amenadiel didn't like humans before, and now that he's, had relationships with human beings, he's more accepting of them. And Amenadiel says he's no longer talking about Lucifer being God. He's talking about himself being God, because it's what he truly desires. And then Lucifer says he can't think of a better angel to become God. Lucifer says he wants Amenadiel to sign some papers just in case he's not around much. It will give Amenadiel joint ownership of Lux. Lucifer says he's glad it was Amenadiel he spent all this time with. He's his favorite brother. And then you can't get out of me that easy, brother. Lucifer goes to see Maze. She's ready to take off to her honeymoon. Lucifer wants a hug. Since when did we do that? Maze says. He doesn't want Maze to worry about him anymore. He's sorry he always made things about himself. This family, this life she's found, she wouldn't have it if it wasn't for Lucifer. You're my best friend, Maze, Lucifer says. And then Lucifer wonders where Eve is. I'm wondering where Eve is, too. There shouldn't be episodes without Eve, especially in this most important final season of Lucifer, since she has come back. So Maze is picking Eve up from the spa. Maze tells Lucifer, no matter what, you will always have a piece of me. And she gives Lucifer one of her knives and gives Lucifer a hug. Maze is actually upset and visibly crying. So she has a soul now. At some point, Maze got a soul. And then she says, goodbye, Lucifer. And then Maze rides off on her bike. Dan, as Lamech, is at the penthouse, and Lucifer is ready to hurt him, but Dan is able to let Lucifer know it's actually him by saying, bracelet bros. Dan says he's stuck in Lamech's body. Dan's here to get help from Lucifer to get out of Lamech's body. Lucifer's truly sorry that he can't help him. Also wishes he could get a good douche / man. He said man, but I'm saying douche. Like him to heaven. Cheers. And then Lucifer tells Dan that Rory doesn't want to kill him anymore with her wings. Lucifer tells Daniel to think about who he wants to spend his final hours with. And then Lucifer brings some clothes over to Chloe for tiny Rory on the way. Lucifer says he'll always choose us. If this is my last day, I would like to spend it with the people that I love most. Lucifer, Chloe, and Rory go as far away from 10th and Swanson as they can for a family day. Lucifer tells Rory to take care of Chloe. I do, she says. We take care of each other. Lucifer says, whatever it is that makes me go, it can never be your fault, but I'm going to do everything in my power to stay. Lucifer tells Chloe that she looks more like an angel than the two of them. Rory says the truth is, if you leave, I don't want to see it. I want to remember you like this. This is perfect. And then Rory goes flying away. Dan, as Lamech, goes to see Trixie at camp. Dan goes in for a hug, and then, of course, Trixie says, stranger danger. And then Trixie uses some like hand-to-hand combat skills that either Maze or Chloe teaches her. Of course, I already know the answer to this question because this is what I wrote before that. And Dan says, okay, no hugs. Maze teach you those moves? You know Maze? Yeah. I'm a friend of hers and your dad's. Boy, did he talk about you all the time. And then Trixie quizzes this stranger. I can't remember what he said his name was. He tells Trixie she's the best kid he could have ever asked for. He cares about you more than anything in the world. I'm sorry he had to leave you. He didn't mean to, Trixie says he was the best role model / person ever. I love my dad. I miss him every day. Take back what you said, because he said something that she doesn't like. Like, no, my dad was perfect. Even though he had his flaws, he was essentially perfect. And then we have a bright light shine on Dad. A bright light shine on Dan, and Trixie has to get back. And now Lamech is back in his body, and Dan has exited to heaven, I think. Lucifer and Chloe arrive back at the penthouse. Only 45 minutes until this day is history. Lucifer and Chloe go into the panic room. The door will only unlock until the day is finally over with. I need you to know, no, we are not saying goodbye, Lucifer. They hold each other. The song from Ghost plays, the movie Ghost, that, Patrick Swayze, Demi Moore, and Whoopi Goldberg, yes, the notorious Whoopi Goldberg, who I can't stand now on The View. Well, not that I watched The View, but anyway, she was good in Ghost, and some other movies from the early 90s. Sister Act, and Made in America with Ted Danson, and a brief moments of Will Smith in the movie, too. Anyway, the door has opened. It's midnight. You did it, Lucifer. It worked. I'm here, and Rory's calling, but it's Lamech, and he is holding her hostage at 10th and Swanson. Does he have Rory, or does he have Trixie? Because he was at the camp where Trixie was, but he's using Rory's phone, so I don't know. But that's what ends this episode of Lucifer. Good stuff. Honestly, I'm going to give this episode a 9.5 out of 10. And everyone is the character of the episode. Lucifer, Chloe, Trixie, Maze, Linda Martin, Dan, of course, being my favorite in this episode, Ghost Dan. So you've heard everything that I have to say. Now it's your turn. If you're a fan of Lucifer and you want to help me out with the YouTube algorithm, please consider Hulk smashing the like button. And remember, I cover a lot of stuff on my channel. The easiest way to find out what I cover is just go to my playlist. I cover Walking Dead, UFC fight reactions, Dexter, Breaking Bad, Big Bang Theory, Shameless, The Last of Us, Cobra Kai, Stranger Things. So I'm sure there's something else that you'll like besides Lucifer. Share the video with a friend. Put this video on any one of your social media platforms. Make sure you interact with me and the legendary Crazy Coffee Man in the comments section. Of course, Crazy Coffee Man is the Lucifer expert and the reason why I'm watching the show, the reason why I bought the show. Let me know what your score of this episode is and what characters that you think are the characters of the episode. If you want to do a male and female, that's fine, or just pick all of them like I did. And then last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button. You're watching the video anyway. Subscribe to the channel, join the team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special. And you never know what you're going to see on JDev TV.